Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. We're thrilled to have you with us today, because the story we're about to uncover has shaken the entire fandom and sent social media into a complete frenzy. A moment no one expected. Rowoon's farewell letter finally reveals the truth behind the Park Eun-bin speculation storm. What did Rowoon actually write? Did his message silence millions of comments overnight? And what truth hidden between his heartfelt lines changed everything the fans thought they knew? Stay right here. The full story begins now. The entertainment industry was thrown into complete chaos the moment Rowoon's farewell letter surfaced online. It wasn't an official announcement. It wasn't released by his company. It wasn't filtered through press agencies or polished by stylists and managers. It appeared suddenly, raw, handwritten, unedited, on a quiet Tuesday morning. Posted by a staff member who claimed the letter had been left behind on the final night of filming. Within minutes, screenshots spread across social media. Within an hour, hashtags took over every major platform. And by noon, the entire country was dissecting every line, every comma, every emotional crack hidden in his handwriting. One reacted with more shock than the fans who noticed one detail. Park Eun-bin's name wasn't mentioned. Not once. Not directly. But she was everywhere between the lines. At the drama set that morning, the staff moved like ghosts. No one spoke loudly. No one dared mention the letter openly, though every single person had read it, twice, 3 times, obsessively scanning each sentence for meaning. The atmosphere felt heavy, electrified, like the moments right before a confession that could change everything. Park Eun-bin arrived quietly, wearing a cap pulled low and a mask that didn't hide the stiffness in her expression. She walked past the set entrance without greeting anyone, unusual for her, heading straight to her dressing room. The stylist followed her inside. "Eun-bin, are you okay?" She didn't answer at first. Sat down slowly, pulled out her phone, unlocked it, and stared at the image of the letter once again. Her eyes scanned the same lines she had memorized overnight. "There were things I wanted to say sooner. Moments I couldn't express the truth. Some storms are caused by silence, not mistakes. I hope the person who understands this line will forgive me someday." Fans interpreted the lines wildly. The media speculated irresponsibly. Sections erupted. But the industry knew exactly who he was addressing. And Eun-bin knew it too. She swallowed hard, setting the phone down with a shaky breath. "He didn't need to write this," she whispered. Her stylist sat across from her. "Are you worried they'll twist it?" "They already have," Eun-bin murmured. "They're connecting me to things that aren't even in the letter. And the more they guess, the worse it gets." That was the truth. The speculation storm had started weeks earlier, fueled by misinterpreted fan sightings, exaggerated behind-the-scenes clips, a mill that wouldn't slow down. The smallest accidental interaction became evidence. A sideways glance became proof. A quiet moment became confirmation. And now, Rowoon's farewell letter had set the entire wildfire ablaze again. The director knocked softly and entered. "In," he said gently. "I know this is overwhelming, but there's something you need to see." He handed her an envelope. Her breath caught. It was the original version of Rowoon's letter, the physical copy he left behind. The leaked one online was only a photo. But this was the real thing. Eun-bin hesitated before touching it, as if the paper itself carried too much weight for her trembling fingers. She unfolded it carefully. The handwriting was bold, uneven in places, streaked faintly where the pen pressed too hard. Between the lines, between the heavy ink strokes, she saw something she hadn't noticed before. A second fold in the paper. A hidden crease. A section that wasn't shown in the leaked online photo. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Was this cut out? She asked. The director's expression grew grim. The leak was edited. Intentionally. Her fingers tightened around the paper. She unfolded the hidden crease. And there it was. A paragraph. The one no one online had seen. The one that explained everything. Her eyes widened, breath shaking, as she read Rowoon's words. "Sorry the rumors hurt you. I should have spoken sooner. I didn't know how to protect you without harming us both. Thank you for understanding more than I ever said aloud." Her lips parted. The room seemed to spin. Because this wasn't a confession. This wasn't romance. This wasn't scandal. It was something quieter. Something heavier. Something painfully human. An apology. The kind meant only for one person. A tear slid down her cheek before she could stop it. Rector placed a careful hand on her shoulder. Eun-bin, there's more. Something happened last night before he left. Her heart froze. What do you mean? Rector hesitated, glancing at the door to make sure they were alone. He came to the studio. Eun-bin's breath caught. Last night. The director nodded. To the rooftop. The crew found him sitting there alone for nearly an hour. He said he needed a place to think before he left. He said the rumors, the pressure, the silence, it all built up too fast. Her chest tightened sharply. After this, the director whispered, handing her a small object wrapped in cloth. Eun-bin unfolded it slowly. Inside was a small pendant, the charm from a prop necklace she had worn during the final episode. The charm she lost during reshoots. The one she thought had been misplaced. But Rowoon had kept it. Hands shook violently. The director looked at her softly. Whatever he wrote, whatever he didn't say, he carried this with him. He left it here. For you. Eun-bin pressed the pendant to her chest. Tears falling silently. He finally whispered. Voice barely audible. Didn't he tell me before he left? The director answered quietly. The truth behind the rumors isn't what the fans think. He paused. It's what he felt, and what he couldn't say. Bin closed her eyes. Breath trembling as the weight of the letter settled into her heart. And the real storm, the one the public never saw, was only beginning. The industry buzz reached a fever pitch the moment journalists discovered the original letter was incomplete. News portals blasted headlines by the minute. Communities scrambled to find the missing lines. Anonymous sources came forward with theories. Half of them exaggerated. The other half outright fabricated. But none of them had the truth. Because only one person had the unedited letter. Eun-bin. And only she had the courage to face what was written in that hidden paragraph. That evening, she returned to her apartment. Closing the door against the noise of the outside world. She sat on the floor. Letter spread out before her. Pendant resting in her palm. The city lights glowing faintly through the window. She read the paragraph again. I'm sorry the rumors hurt you. I didn't know how to protect you without harming us both. Thank you for understanding more than I ever said aloud. Every line pulsed with something deeper than the public imagined. This wasn't a revelation of romance. It wasn't an admission of guilt. It wasn't fuel for scandal. It was the truth. Behind months of silence. Behind the storm that refused to calm. Behind every misinterpreted glance. Every headline blown out of proportion. And Eun-bin knew, in that moment, that Rowoon hadn't written the letter for the world. He wrote it for her. But the world refused to stay silent. Her phone buzzed relentlessly, calls from her agency. Messages from the PR team. Notifications from every platform imaginable. She ignored them all. Her heart was too full of unanswered questions. Too heavy with everything she didn't say back. Then, one message came through that made her breath stop. It was from a number saved under a name she had not touched since the rumors began. A mutual friend. Someone who had been with Rowoon during the final hours before he left. The message was short. He didn't want you dragged into the rumors. So he kept his distance. But the letter, everything he couldn't tell you in person is in there. She covered her mouth. Tears spilling without restraint. Their message arrived. He said he hoped you'd read between the lines. Her heart felt like it was cracking apart. She typed back with trembling fingers. What did he say before leaving? The reply came instantly. He said, please tell her I never wanted to disappear quietly. Her breath shattered into a trembling exhale. The world believed Rowoon's letter was a dramatic statement about rumors. They thought it was a confession. A denial. A coded message. A career shift. A headline grabber. But the truth was far simpler, and far more heartbreaking. It was a goodbye he didn't want to give. As she held both the pendant and the letter, Eun-bin felt the weight of a truth she had ignored for far too long. He wasn't trying to clear up a rumor. He was trying to protect her from it. She placed the letter gently on her lap, closed her eyes, and whispered into the quiet room. You didn't have to protect me alone. And in that moment, she made a decision. Not to respond publicly. Not to feed speculation. Not to involve the media. But to wait. For the moment he would return. For the conversation they never had. For the truth they both understood but never spoke aloud. Because the truth behind the Park Eun-bin speculation storm was never a scandal. Never a rumor. Never a lie. It was a silence that deserved to be broken. Only between two people. And one day. As dawn slowly broke over Seoul, the city regained its rhythm. But Park Eun-bin remained still, sitting by her window with Rowoon's letter in one hand and the pendant in the other. The world outside moved on quickly, jumping to conclusions, twisting narratives, for sensational headlines. But the truth, the quiet, fragile truth, stayed between two people. A letter he never meant for the world. A silence she never meant to keep. A goodbye that wasn't truly goodbye. When Eun-bin finally folded the letter and placed a pendant gently beside it, her expression was no longer shaken. It was steady, almost serene. Because now she understood the one thing Rowoon had tried to tell her all along. He didn't leave to avoid her. He left hoping she would wait for the day he could return with honesty, with clarity. With his own voice, not filtered by rumors or shadows. He would. Not as an answer to speculation. A message to the public. But because some stories aren't meant to be consumed by millions. Some stories are meant to be finished. People who lived them. And when that day finally comes, their truth will no longer be hidden between the lines. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us on this emotional and powerful journey. Curiosity, passion, and unwavering support keep Behind the Bulletin alive, exploring the truths behind headlines, the emotions behind silence, the stories behind the storm. Stay tuned for more deep dives, more revelations, more unforgettable moments. We'll see you again in the next episode of Behind the Bulletin.